Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Early last week, Riot invited me to the Red Bull gaming sphere with a bunch of other content creators to try out the new platformer Convergence early, which is really cool. I headed down on a train to London, had a play session that lasted about an hour and a half. I kind of hogged the PC, I'm sorry. And I got to speak to the lead dev as well, and I'm going to give you my thoughts and opinions on the game so far, alongside some explanations on mechanics and abilities. Just a quick disclaimer, while Riot did send me an invitation to come to their event, this video is in no way sponsored and they didn't cover any of my travel, but I did get to sneak out with some Red Bull and snacks alongside a goodie bag as well, with some pins and a t-shirt in it, which is really nice. If you have no idea what Convergence is, it's Riot's newest story game. You experience Zorn through the eyes of Echo, a young inventor with a device that can manipulate time. It's a platformer with a lot of Metroidvania-like elements and feels. You fight through enemies of Zorn while also collecting parts to craft new abilities and gadgets. The game was developed by Double Stallion, a Montreal-based gaming studio, and it's being published by Riot Forge, which have done the other games such as The Ruined King and Mage Seeker. A great thing about this event was once I checked in, I was allowed to just walk up to any PC and just start playing. They also had a bunch of Nintendo Switches that I could play on, and the room was decorated with animated screens, posters, figurines, and what I believe is a bunch of the items from the collector's edition in the windows. We were allowed to stream live from the gaming sphere and record footage from our own time here. So all the footage in the background you see is my own gameplay, and it's not just the video that Riot allowed me to use. And also the footage playing is me playing the game on the hardest setting. So if you feel like some sections you wouldn't be able to deal with, please don't be discouraged. This game does have a difficulty setting. For this playtest, I got restricted to playing a demo version of the game with only the 3rd level available, which had a bunch of platforming sections, fighting scenes, 2 bosses, and even a chase scene. I think they decided to show this level instead of the previous ones to give you a taste of what kind of abilities you can unlock in the game. I already had a few unlocks, but I also unlocked another one mid-level. One of the first things I noticed in this game was the very Metroidvania-like feel. There were obvious places where I could go. Progression seems very similar to Hollow Knight, where you get given a map and you can sort of go wherever you feel like, but some places are going to be restricted because you haven't unlocked the correct ability or upgrade yet. I got a good look at all of the mechanics that could be unlocked in the game this far, and I'll give you a brief rundown on them. If you haven't already noticed, you can see Echo's past hologram trailing behind him, and this is because you can press a button at any point in the game to rewind time. However, it's limited by how many rewind charges you have, which I believe you can fill with combat. It's an incredibly cool mechanic at first. You would think it'd be kind of weird to add this to a platformer, because the whole point of playing a platformer would be to figure out where to go and learn from your mistakes by either dying or losing health, which both still are a part of the game. And it would feel like it would make the game an easier experience for people, like rewinding every time you miss a platform, which is true, but it also felt incredibly smooth, and it feels like you can also cater the ability to a higher skill audience as well, knowing if you got hit by an ability, you know you can rewind at this point to get ready to dodge it because you knew where it aimed before. I think is such a cool mechanic and flows so nicely. Echo can also do an advanced version of this ability where you deal massive damage in an AoE once you rewind back. The other main ability you'll be using will be Time Winder, which Echo throws a disc that deals damage to enemies caught inside, and after a delay it rewinds back to him. So a lot of his abilities are very inspired by his League abilities, very similar. It has a pretty short cooldown and can be used again when the Time Winder has returned to him. On the level I was playing on, I had to use this ability as well, not only to deal damage to enemies, but to throw it in power sockets to power up doors or turn platforms so I can continue through the level. And you can also throw this ability in any direction, so it's very, very, very useful with dealing with flying enemies. I also had access to a bunch of platforming abilities, which were just part of the game base, like wall jumping, grinding on rails, walking across wall plates, and even swinging on poles. Another ability Echo has is parallel convergence, which is again very similar to his League abilities, which allows you to create a circular field to slow down time of anything in that area. So you can slow down enemies, projectiles, mechanical objects, the background, to just get through puzzles. I remember there was a specific section where I had to slow down a fan to be able to walk through, otherwise I would just die. Towards the end of the level, I unlocked Phase Dive, which allows me to teleport to targets instantly as long as they had a circular indicator on them, which really reminds me of Sonic the Hedgehog's homing attack. I played a lot of Sonic as a kid. I got to see a bunch of different enemies ranging from Zorn baddies to like mini robots, all with their own unique sets of abilities that you have to learn and play around. There was a beautiful chase sequence as well with Warwick towards the end that I had a ton of fun with. The rewind mechanics sort of took the frustration out of these kind of scenes. Usually when you play these kind of scenes you die and then you have to fully restart the entire section, or like maybe midway. Being able to rewind on the spot was a really great part about this game, allowing me to continue on by barely missing any platform, and it made it a lot more exciting to me. I absolutely adore platformers, and with my favorites being Celeste and Hollow Knight, this game has a lot to live up to for me. But the gameplay feels incredibly fluid. I got to speak with the lead dev, and he said he was heavily inspired by Celeste in later levels of the game, which I'm really excited to see. And also use a lot of ideas from Hollow Knight, which you can definitely feel in this game. In my 1 hour and 30 minutes of playing Convergence, I can honestly say I did not notice anything negative about the game. I didn't notice any bugs. The graphics are incredible, the soundtrack and abilities sounds are a treat. I did get lost a lot, but that's just because I suck at direction in general and I didn't use my map enough. So yes, you do have a map to help you out. And I couldn't figure out how to get to some places, but that's exactly the style of Metroidvanias, you know. It was just down to me not knowing enough about the game yet and not being far enough in the game. If I had any gripes to give, it would be that the bosses felt kind of easy to me. I don't know if I was heavily overgeared because of the demo, but for having the game on the hardest setting and being the 3rd level in, the bosses felt really easy and I didn't die to either of them. The rewind mechanic also helps a lot with that. If I lost a little bit of health, I would just go back and then know when the ability is coming forward. The fact that I didn't die to both bosses I encountered makes me feel like the difficulty scaling wasn't up there when it comes to the bosses. I really liked the platforming sections, they did feel great. But again, it was the 3rd level and we don't really know how many levels there are in the game yet, so it just might be a super early game boss. But I did feel like they were quite easy. The game, like other Riot Forge games, does focus a lot on the story. For me, story is the least important parts of gaming for me. But it wasn't overwhelming to the point where there are a million cutscenes, loads of dialogue. I obviously only had an hour and 30 minutes of playtime, so I didn't get to see too much of it. But it felt like it was a decent amount of cutscenes to gameplay ratio for me. At the end of my play session, I was desperate to play more, and I'm so genuinely excited for the release of this game. I'm so excited to fully complete everything in the game. I hope there are specific hard challenges akin to like Celeste's Farewell Golden and the Pantheon in Hollow Knight. I can see a lot of platformer and Metroidvania enjoyers deeply falling in love with this game with its fluid mechanics, precision, and difficulty settings, which allows anyone of any skill level to get stuck in and be immersed. And that's it from me! I will be playing this game live on my Twitch channel when this game releases on the 23rd at around 6 PM BST if you'd love to watch me play through the game. I'm very excited for others to play this game and share with me their thoughts, so if you do decide to play this game, you know, let me know how do you feel about it. I hope you like this video. Leave a like, a comment, and if you're new here, please sub to the channel. I like doing a bunch of gaming content. I stream every single day on my Twitch channel. I just need to grow my YouTube channel more. I know this. I will now leave you guys with some gameplay without any commentary and without any backgrounds muted. So I hope you enjoy. See you guys next time. Goodbye.
Easy! You're done. Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm okay.
You're gonna end him, right?
What?
Warwick almost killed you. I've seen what he does to Zahn in the future. We could stop all that pain right now.
I don't know. Even if that's true, I can't just kill him while he's down.
I know how you're feeling. Trust me. But think about how many hundreds of people this beast has already harmed. One death here, and thousands are gonna be saved.
I mean, there has to be another way to handle this. He may be dangerous, but I can't just...
There's Echo! Get him! We're getting out of here. Come on.